Hey guys, it's so good to be back. I just filmed some stuff, driving around, and I was going to show you the whole thing, but I start screaming at the top of my lungs. So, just so I don't have my channel taken back down on the first day I put it up. Instead, I'm just going to go over some of the things I found. This is up here in Baldwin Hills, right? And what we did is we went and, visited some things, some sites, let's just put it that way. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. This is a number. And then it says UCLA next to it. Remember I showed you this before. Let me see if I can get it bigger. Okay. See this little portion where it says UCLA, right? Now, I don't think that's just one thing. I think this has a legal meaning. And I'm going to run this. I haven't done it yet, I'm going to run this address. I have not done that. But let me show you this other one. Across the street was where we went. Right there. This is one of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's locations. And this is a Black Lives Matter fist. Now, if you don't think this is real, I just want to show you it. It's not just a sign. There's something about these signs that it has legal jurisdiction and legal meaning. So I just want to show you this. Remember, I said it's a race crime. It's a race crime, and I really want to show you the footage. I mean, it's not the greatest footage, but at least you can see our city. Looks pretty bad right now. It looks a lot like, to me, this portion of the city looks nice. But the rest of the city looks like Venezuela. And I'm not talking about the parts that are, a lot of money there, whatever. Here, there's another one. It says UCLA right there. Let me go back it out. UCLA. It's like a little spray painted sign. So does that mean this person has jurisdiction, or UCLA has jurisdiction? I kind of tend to think so. I've now seen so many of these signs. Okay. So then I pull over because I saw something on the side of the street. And this man, I get out of my car, and then this man comes over to me and is like, "What in the hell?" And I'm like, "Well, I see this little sign. I'm taking a picture of it. Is that okay with you?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's fine." I mean, he was in a mask, I'm in a mask. But there's this sign, and I can't even really read the sign. It's a notice to residents. I think this person offers painting on the sign, so you can call this person and they can paint this thing on. But just the amount of times I've seen this now, I'm just wondering, if that thing, that Black Lives Matter little sign, or just wonder if it means something. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. We're just going to, when you think about John, the man's name is John Massa, who signed me to Music Media International. I mean, they're keeping white women as slaves, and through a very convoluted scheme. And I don't know if John Massa is white or black or whatever. Mike Chapman is white. But, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar knew me as a child and knew that my parents were enslaving me. And he also, for some reason, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar looks like he works for the Department of Corrections, as far as I could tell. So he's got the ability to enslave people if he wants to. But to enslave a child and give them no rights, that becomes something very different. That, to me, puts him in a different category, you know, and my parents in a different category of evil that I didn't know existed. Because I want to say, like, as a child, I should just play this, but I can't play what I'm saying because it's pretty. I want to play it. I want you guys to know what I think, but I gotta be careful. I get this thing taken down, so I'm just gonna play it like this. I hope you don't mind. So what I'm saying right here is about, I was in this play as a child. It was called Noah's Flood. Noye''S Fludde. And it's called the Mystery Play. And it's how kind of like a Christmas miracle. And I was the dove in that play when I was a very little girl, maybe 4 years old. And basically they released it into the LA Times that I was the dove. Okay, so everyone knew my name. I had a target on my back from that point forward, from the time I'm 4. Or whatever age it was, like 4 or 5, right? So I've got a target on my back from that age. So anything I wanted to do, anything I was good at naturally, I wasn't allowed to do because I was being kept as a slave. So when I looked into the play, it talks about evil, you know, and how the writer of the play really thought artists should embrace their evil side and destroy things. Sorry, you guys, there's like a smudge right there. It's probably on my lens. Anyway, this I'm driving down. Looks like I'm going so fast, but I'm going in normal speed, but I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. That's why I'm not playing it for you. I don't want to get this video taken down. I just want to show you. This is Los Angeles. I'm on La Brea right now. And there's signs. There's some signs I'm going to point out. They're talking about demands on their signs. And, okay, demands, whatever. But to enslave someone and then target them, or people are going to come after them and try to put them into contracts where the contract says one thing, but, you know, through flashback, which is CIA, it actually means something else. So I don't know if I told you guys this, but my mom said her father worked for the Hearsts. And I worked on a movie that was from her, like the producer was Hearst. So I'm like, oh, dang. They did this through this really weird way. And then I also worked on Pulp Fiction. I haven't looked that one up yet, who produced it. So anytime I had an opportunity, it was just like I would get a job just for them to have jurisdiction over my body and my body parts. It wasn't like I got more jobs after that. I mean, it was like I would get a job at Gramercy Pictures, or I would get a job on working on Pulp Fiction, and just very weird stuff I found today. There's something called Family Tree Foundation, and that one at first, there's also Hercules films, and when I looked up Hercules films, I mean, look at our city. It just, I mean, this is kind of a weird part of the city, just right here, because there's not a lot of trees and stuff, but there's some trees, right? It probably has different trees than your city has. But, like, this isn't even dirty. The city, the part where I live, it's like trash everywhere, and I live in a really nice neighborhood. So I'm just telling you, it doesn't look like it used to. It almost looks, in some parts, and I'm going to do a video so you guys can see it, in some parts like Venezuela. Like, that is how dirty and filthy and trash everywhere it looks. But the thing is, the truth of it is, they're harming children. And I don't know where they're getting the children, but I know the Pope has a legal authority to falsify birth certificates. So, you know, technically maybe you come from somewhere else, even though it shows your live birth here. There's no way a mother could do that to a child. I mean, that's a psychopath, for sure. It's like a true psychopath. But my mom also knew Karen Tucker. My mom knew John Gettinger, who owns a meat farm. My mom knew all of these people. And then a lot of the people started faking their deaths. Cliff Cantor faked his death to get me to Hollywood Forever Cemetery. A lot of these people faked their deaths. And I'm not sure what the memorial has to do with getting jurisdiction, but it's just a way for them to hide the addresses, right? If you've gone to the location, they can hide the address at Hollywood Forever. But this is our city right now. What can I tell you about it? Just like I'm screaming at the top of my lungs at New Life, because New Life is like they're stealing other people's rights to provide it to a community without consent or legal privilege by starving and enslaving that person so that they can't, get on their feet enough to even have a baby. And I find that to be very disgusting. And what my mom did to me is so disgusting. I don't think she is, I think she's an anti-American. I think she's a communist. Her name even means communist when you look it up. And I think these people are just filled with hatred. And I don't know how they survived. I don't know. I mean, they survived because they're rich. But I literally used to say in writings I did was that they were rich and I had nothing. They treated, you guys, I was literally raised.
Kind of bullshit.
Starting screaming about stuff, you guys, about it. Screaming about it. Because I don't want to get my channel pulled. I'm just going to leave this little, nice one that I did that didn't say too much. But I want to tell you, I'm really heartbroken about finding out that these people who knew me knew that I was being kept as a slave and did nothing to stop it and did nothing to help me. Van Moe, Shannon Moe, the people that I thought were my friends, Tom Mayer, they did nothing to help me. And I think those people also deserve, just like in the Holocaust, to be in prison for crimes against humanity. That's it. I can't even put it up because I was going to put this part up, but I just realized I was still filming this. So, okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. I'm glad you're back. Please join my other channel just in case I'm ever taken down again. I have to be very careful. So, you guys, you're not going to hear. I'm going to try to keep my opinion like this. I'm screaming. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs all through this. Look at this. Look at this. Screaming.
And I'm
screaming.